The Civic Coalition government, led by Donald Tusk, is allocating 429 million zlotys for foreign integration centers. Today, this change in approach to migration policy is very clear. What were the slogans of today's ruling politicians when the current opposition, the United Right, was in power? We will not respect or implement any European or EU ideas if we are sure that they will harm our security. Nobody can force or convince me. This is Donald Tusk on Saturday, and these are Donald Tusk's views when he was not Prime Minister of the Polish government, but held a high office in the European Union. The Polish government will, in fact, be one of 2 or 3 countries in Europe determined not to participate in this solidarity, this sharing of responsibility on the refugee issue, which will inevitably have some consequences. What has changed? Could he really have changed his mind so drastically? Donald Tusk himself threatened various countries, including Poland when he was in European office, with sanctions if we did not agree to migrant relocation schemes in Europe. We had a festival of various incidents on the border, a festival of attacks aimed precisely at those linked to the previous ruling coalition, as well as the deliberate devaluation of Poland on the international stage. And all this changed, as if by magic, when Donald Tusk's government took power in Poland. There have been many such memorable events. For example, the words of Idwona Hartwich, who called for opening the borders and letting in migrants, are still unforgettable. Let these people in. Who they are will be determined later. Today's Prime Minister then said the following. These are poor people looking for their place on earth, and there is no need to make such dark, disgusting propaganda targeting migrants, because these are people who need help. Today it seems that this government, when in power, wants to deny these so-called poor people the right to asylum. How many refugees are there in Poland today? About 20,000. Of course, this number fluctuates, but that's the ballpark. That's why today, the government is talking about reinforcing the wall it criticized when it was in opposition. I have never said that the wall will not be built. This wall will not be built, either in 1 year nor 3. Today, the Ocalenie Foundation, the same one that fought to allow illegal migrants into the country, will build an asylum for them. It won a competition to organize a center for the integration of foreigners. The problem is that, while doing so, it attacked the soldiers defending Poland's borders. This perfectly illustrates the total collapse of credibility for these political factions. And when it comes to defense spending, including on the Polish border, the European Commission wants to punish Poland, not praise it. If the European Union is going to punish Poland for its laudable 5% defense spending, shouldn't NATO and the US do more to hold NATO allies accountable for not spending 3%? The European Commission merely issued a stern warning to Donald Tusk. We must work on a European solution, one that is strong in the face of Putin and Lukashenko's hybrid attacks without compromising our values. Why the caution? Donald Tusk belongs to the same political group, the EPP, as Ursula von der Leyen, and is a former president of the European Council, and he has sharpened his approach to migration policy for use in an election campaign exclusively in Poland.